Hi, Debayan. Thank you so much for taking the time to participate in this interview for my research project titled AI and Journalism in India. This is a part of my MSc dissertation at Brunel University, London, and I'm really looking forward to learning from your professional experience. Before we begin, just a few quick checks. Have you had a chance to read the participant information sheet?
Yes,
Cool. And have you signed and returned the consent form?
yes,
That's great. And are you comfortable with this interview being audio video recorded for academic use?
yes.
Perfect. Again, a very warm welcome, Debyan. So, could you please briefly introduce yourself, like your name, your current role, and how long you have been in media journalism industry and the organization you currently work with?
So, hi, I'm Devandatta. I have been a multimedia journalist for over 9 years now. I have worked at the Quint, the Print, and recently I was working at Logically Facts. I have recently started freelancing, so I am currently not employed with anybody, but I do a bunch of projects here and there. So it is mostly freelance work in terms of like reporting, making documentaries, or even handling social media and stuff like that. So that briefly sums up what I have been up to lately.
That's great. Thank you so much for introducing yourself, Debayan. So, what do you think, and what are your perceptions of AI generated news content or AI news anchors?
Yeah. So the way I see it, AI is a great tool to have to break down complex and large amounts of data or complex models, which for a normal human, if we do it manually, might take a lot of time. So AI just basically speeds up that process like anything. It is also great or like perfect to visualize topics or generate charts or graphs of large amounts of data to deliver the news more efficiently. It gives you a new avenue and a new way of delivering news, which also makes it easier for the audience to grasp. But a word of warning should always come with using AI for doing anything, not just in the news production process, that we shouldn't be over reliant on AI, and we should always cross check everything independently. Like sure, AI is great help to build you like a foundation from where you can start, or like help you do like 30 or 50% of the work for that matter, but the rest of the 50% has to be your own inputs and your own intervention. Like to let AI take complete control of the production process isn't always a very wise choice.
Yeah. So, according to yours perception, it should be 50-50. We don't like need to rely on AI totally because still we need to give our efforts, otherwise humans can lose their jobs. What do you think about it?
So the thing is, there will always AI can't really replace humans. AI can probably take over a few roles here and there. Like for example, like since you mentioned AI anchors, right? Like on one side, you can definitely have AI anchors talk about like very basic news and everything. But at the end of the day, a journalist is defined by how well can they think on their feet, and AI can't do that. When you say like you're in a breaking news situation, a news is
Yeah.
breaking or something like that is happening, or
Mhm.
you have to invite a guest, you're in the middle of a debate, what we usually see in Indian newsrooms nowadays. An AI anchor on an AI program will find it incredibly difficult to cope with the dealing with such urgency. AI
Yeah.
is primarily AI functions on how we feed the data. It is fast, but it also takes time to process the data and everything. This is where, but in times like this, and what sets a journalist apart from an AI program is their ability to think on their feet, is their ability to be empathetic and also emotional. Like what AI can't always replicate is the emotional impact of a certain situation that is happening, be it close to home or be it further away from home.
Yeah, I totally agree with your point. AI can save our time. AI can deliver news in a different, in a unique way, but still we need humans in case of any emergency or in such kind of breaking news, any incident happen, like any flood-related news. So we need reporters. We need some journalists as well. I totally agree with your point. Like AI can't replace totally human presenters. So, what are your views on the use of AI in news analysis and dissemination?
So the thing is, AI is great for news analysis. Like I said, like when you have a large piece of data, like for example, like if you say like if you take the example of the Panama Papers, right? It was that investigation or any large scale investigation, right? It's usually large amounts of data which you constantly have to work with, and you do it can take a lot of time, right?
Yeah,
So AI just basically speeds up that process. Or, for example, again, like maybe say you're doing a story pan India. uh,
yeah,
India is a diverse, every state is a diverse country. Every state speaks different languages. So maybe like if you're accessing government documents, every government document in every state will be in different language. You might not be capable, like you might not know all the languages. For example, I'm from West Bengal. I understand Bengali, Hindi, and English. I wouldn't understand Marathi. I wouldn't understand Tamil, Telugu, yeah, or any of those languages, right? So that is where AI comes in, right? I can just feed that information into AI and it will help me translate. And like I wouldn't know all the Indian languages, right? But if I have to
mm,
say do a story which deals with more than the like deals with languages which I don't know, that is where again AI comes in. And like it can help me understand, translate and understand the language.
What do you think? What ethical issues are raised by using AI in the news analysis and dissemination?
Okay, so the biggest ethical issues that are raised in when it comes to news analysis and dissemination, or even in the larger news production process, is that AI is not perfect. AI is flawed, and that is something that we need to keep in mind at any given point in time. AI is primarily prone to bias and hallucinations because AI operates primarily on the data that we provide it with. So whatever data is there, if the data from which the AI is learning from is biased, then the outputs will also be biased. The other thing is,
Yeah.
see, if you are using AI to do your research or do like produce news, like a lot of newsrooms are doing, where they are producing AI generated copies. The biggest ethical question that lies here is that who will be held responsible for this particular piece of news? Is it the LLM? Is it the newsroom? Or is it the person who's actually typed in the prompt? Say like something has in that article is misreported or is factually incorrect. Who will be held responsible, right? The second, the other thing being is that the ethical question of letting the audience know whether a particular piece of news is AI generated, or an AI was used in any part of the production process, like be it for research, be it to generate an image, or be it to generate a graph, so that it's a matter of transparency, right? Because journalism is a profession built on trust. And
Yeah, I
uh,
totally agree.
and the whole point of journalism is to be transparent, where we as journalists are always striving to show that, okay, this is how we went about our work, and this is how we did our work, so that the audience knows the whole truth. That is what news is about, to provide the audience
Absolutely.
as much of the truth as possible. And so in that sense, it becomes an ethical question of you know disclosing whether you have used AI in any part of the process or not, so that even the audience knows that, okay, hey, okay, this person used AI. Not like most people are going to do anything with that information, but it is also a moral responsibility as news organizations, or as somebody, or as journalists who owe something to the public, right? We are informing the public, so why not inform everything?
Yeah, I totally agree with your point. Transparency matters a lot. Sometimes, whatever we feed to AI, we will get the same response. So, transparency, biasness, everything, because there are serious concerns about transparency, accountability, and biasness as well. I totally agree with your point. What do you think? Like, how are AI news anchors impacting human jobs in the media industry?
So I think AI news anchors are sure, like they are being used to. The good part of it is that AI anchors can be used to give news in different languages. That's the biggest thing. Or like help in smaller newsrooms where you don't have that many anchors, right? But then again, like I mentioned before, it can't take away the actual anchors, like when it comes to breaking news or like serious pieces of news. The emotional factor will never be there. And if we are worried that AI will take away jobs of anchors, right? It
Yeah.
will also be creating it will also be creating a new line of jobs for somebody who will actually train that AI anchor to be
Yeah.
as good as human anchors. So for every job it is taking away, it is also creating a job. Although I do feel that given how humans are in today's day and age, or have been over time, they will always
Yeah.
crave for that human connect, right? So AI will definitely be there to coexist, but humans will always crave humans.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with your point because AI can't deliver news with such kind of emotional tone like that humans delivers. But if I'm talking about such kind of factors, like what are the specific factors that can impact on human jobs in the media industry? Do you think any specific element you want to add here?
See, some of the things that it can uh, affect is like absolutely junior news roles. Like say like if you want to become an anchor, right? You'll usually
Mm.
start off with say narrating the weather or like financial, maybe like the absolute basic news. They wouldn't really give you prime time shows and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Or even in a digital newsroom, they'll start you off with like smaller stories and everything. AI can always take over those stuff very easily
Yeah,
because
yeah,
again, it wouldn't really require training. You've trained it once, it is there, and it just keeps improving over time. So
yeah,
that of course it is not like it would be foolish to say that AI is not going to impact us. AI will definitely impact us. AI will impact us in every step of the news production process because AI is being used in every step of the news production process. Now it's the matter simply remains is that how much are we willing to rely or how much of AI are we willing to use? Because you can actually have AI create news right from scratch, like from idea all the way to publishing. You can use AI to do it completely without ever intervening, or you can choose to not use AI at all, and the product will probably be very much the same. Now it is purely a matter of choice, which create content creators with journalists and newsrooms will have to make, and it will vary from newsroom to newsroom as to how much of AI are they willing to allow in their process. AI will threaten a few jobs here and there. Let's not kid
mhm,
ourselves about that. But it is not going to take over the world. It is not going to take over everything. Humans will always be needed. And like I said, for every job that AI takes, it will also end up creating new jobs for people to actually end up training that AI or to maintain that AI and to keep feeding it data.
yeah. So, do you believe AI anchors could replace human presenters in the future, or will they coexist, and why?
They will coexist. Like I mentioned, like sure, you can have like these things, like you can have AI anchors talk, say like you're an English news channel who don't really have Hindi, Bengali, Marathi, Telugu, Tamil like anchors. So you can delegate that stuff to AI. Sure, like you can
Mhm.
always also hire people, but if you're a primarily English news channel who might not have that much of a budget, so you can actually invest in AI and it can do the job for you. But again, when it comes to like delivering news, when it comes to hosting debates, when it comes to talking about breaking news or anything like something very severe, okay, it will lack the emotional element of it. So I
Yeah,
believe that it will be a spectrum, right? There will be newsrooms which will not use a single AI anchor. There will also be newsrooms or independent creators who will rely just on AI anchors will never show a single human face ever, right? And then there will
Yeah,
be the middle.
absolutely.
It will primarily, like, I think the biggest part of it, like the maximum people will exist in the middle of the spectrum.
Mhm. Absolutely agree with your point because it's very hard if a presenter is reading any news. If there is a news anchor, they give emotional touch, they people can relate themselves as well, like yeah, it's relatable with us. But AI, if AI is presenting, there's a big difference, they can't give emotional tone. So there are some chances like AI anchors will coexist with human presenters. I totally agree with your point. And Devayan, thank you so much for your valuable insights. Your responses have been incredibly helpful for my research. And I will stop the recording now. But do you have any questions for me and you would like to add anything before wrap up?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you so much once again.
Okay, thank you.